Thank you for the reminder. Okay, so I'm just gonna wait for 2 minutes. This kind of thing won't happen when Hannah takes over.
All right, tight ship, you know?
You just start the meeting.
That's right. You snooze, you lose.
Under Hannah, this meeting would have already been concluded by now, but
That's a campaign promise.
Wait, I'm not the last one on.
You are.
I am?
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Really? Where's John Cashin and John Scagnelli?
they're on the
We're
phone.
on audio. We're
Oh,
here.
okay, sorry. This is, no one has ever, we've never been this prompt.
Well, it's the new blood thing.
The new era, exactly.
That's
Okay.
good. I'm sorry.
Are you remaining on still image, Victoria? There you go.
No,
Okay.
I'm just, yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks everyone for coming. As you all probably know, James sent us an official resignation letter as treasurer. And my first order of business is to nominate Victoria, no bias, as the next treasurer. She is already a signer on our bank account, so I vote that Victoria becomes our new treasurer. Anyone?
I second the nomination.
All those in favor, show your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Anyone opposed? The motion is carried. Victoria.
Anthony, we didn't see your hand go up.
Yeah. Well, I had my fingers crossed as well, but as of now, Victoria is the new treasurer of the 458 3rd Street Tenants Corp. And the next piece of business is that because we don't want to have the president and treasurer married to each other, I'm going to resign as president at the end of December, and I nominate Hannah Gerstenblatt, if I'm pronouncing her last name right, to succeed me. And as people know already, that Hannah's an attorney, and I think it'll be great to have someone with that background take over some of the regulatory stuff and city related stuff that isn't financial that James was doing. And we can get into more about division of duties later, but so I would nominate Hannah.
I second.
That's good.
Any,
Yeah, me
okay,
too.
all those in favor, raise your hand again.
Aye.
Okay,
Congratulations, Hannah.
Wow, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I don't want to overpromise the attorney thing, but I'll do my best.
When's the parade?
Yeah, I'm gonna have an inauguration parade on January 1st, if anyone would like to attend.
You want a parade on January 1st first?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, we gotta have a parade.
Of all of us, that's it.
Okay.
okay, that's great. Just to go back to Victoria now, who's now officially treasurer, I thought we'd get a brief financial report.
Right, which was why I was a little bit late getting on the
Cooking the
meeting.
books, as it were.
What?
All, the floor is yours.
Right, so right now we have about $16,000 in our account. We do have, some big expenses that come up quarterly. In October, we had a big one for property taxes for over $4,000. We have a water and sewage bill coming up, which is not that much, but we also have our, just regular general expenses, which is our mortgage and our insurance, both of which is over $3,000 a month. And but we're in pretty good shape. We did do an assessment in part because the plumber Stanley Lewis had to come and do a lot of work between apartments 3L and 2L because there was stuff going on in the pipes there that needed to be fixed. So that bill did come in. It was a little under $1,400, which we thought was good because we actually expected it to be more for all the work that was involved. But one thing, that James had mentioned before he left is that, we can really expect that our heating bills are going to be pretty costly this winter. So even though it might seem like, oh, we have this surplus, we don't really. So that's my minimal report.
And on heating, just so folks know, because not everyone knows, the thermostat for the building is in apartment 1R, Joel and Susan. And, at times in this building over the years, there have been issues with how heat circulates, not being perfect, whether it's up and down or back to front. And all it takes is, reaching out to Joel and Susan if you are dying of heat, freezing. It's not perfect system, and there have been times when we talked about whether the thermostat should be maybe in the middle of the building, but for now it's in their apartment. So you have radiators obviously in every unit, and you can close them or not depending on your philosophy, or open the windows, but that's the heating story.
Winter, it wasn't bad at all. I mean, we really, it seemed that things were going pretty well last winter, if you remember. After, some hassles previously. So,
Yeah, but again, if Ian and Emily, if you guys feel like, oh, isn't it colder in the back than the front? Yes, but don't hesitate to say, hey, is this right? But sometimes that's, I don't know if if there's anything else to say about heat. Anyone wants to?
I thought it was a lovely temperature last winter.
it was good.
Yeah,
You guys have a
Really
great,
good,
you have a
yeah.
great touch.
yeah.
And it wasn't a problem back to front business. You didn't have,
Not really. I think maybe the radiator in our bedroom doesn't work, but that's not a building problem. That's an us problem. So the baby's room is fine. So she's fine.
One thing Anthony just mentioned, you can turn your radiators up or down.
Yeah.
It's important not to turn it halfway.
Right.
Yes, we know that. But yeah, I thought it was a great temperature last winter. So far, we've been fine.
oh, good. Because the problem is usually in the back when there's a problem, lack of heat. But we'll have to see what happens. But we love getting calls anytime, day or night. But no, it's really
Yeah,
fine.
it's okay.
The other more serious thing is if sometimes the heat, God forbid, doesn't work and it's a boiler issue, please, starting in January, call Hannah at all times and tell her. No, I'm kidding, but just, speak up, tell me.
I'll be here. You know where I live.
No, yes.
I don't know if you want to segue into a boiler issue or wait till the end.
Why don't we wait just a second? And I was gonna have Ian and Emily give us a quick update on where things stand with their renovation and, or I don't know if that's the right word, but, and work and when you might move in and all that stuff.
Yeah, so they've, as you all know, they've been in there working. Most of the work they've been doing up to today really was preparing to paint. They did a lot of repairs to the molding to make it paintable. And there was a good bit of, I don't know, cracking in the closets, just in the kind of surface that they needed to repair.
The plaster.
Yeah, in the plaster that they could, before they could begin painting.
Yeah.
But they started painting today, or I guess they painted the ceilings last week and began painting the walls today. As soon as they finish that, they'll do the floors. And we think they'll be done the second week in November, second week in November. They had given us a slightly shorter timeline, and then I think once they got into all of the trim, it was a little more complicated than they thought. So they added a week, so we're adding 2 weeks to our expectation, and hopefully they'll be done by mid-November, and we'll be in there, I don't know,
Before Thanksgiving.
before Thanksgiving. Yeah,
So you'll be ready to host us is what you're saying.
come over. Yeah,
Freshly painted.
like sitting on cardboard boxes. Yeah.
We did though, Emily and Ian, we forgot to ask you an important question last time, which is, do you have a picture of coffee?
Oh,
No.
we have 5,000. She's actually here for this meeting with us right now.
Yeah, she's on the monitor. Here, let me find, I'll get you.
Find a cute one.
Yeah, I'm gonna find, oh, this is not this one.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see this. This is,
Aw,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she's adorable.
so,
I heard a rumor that one of the other young people in the building will be passing out candy in the courtyard on Halloween. So. if you
Oh,
want-
yeah.
Yeah,
She's
if
ready.
you Come by.
She's
Oh,
ready.
wow.
She'll be dressed like a duck.
But be
Okay.
careful
Get ready.
because on Halloween, a ghost also arrives. So just fair warning.
Wait, what arrives?
a ghost?
Does arrive, a ghost arrives.
If you
Oh,
want to
scary. She
terrify
doesn't-
your
She's too
children,
young to be scared.
Theo is in the business of that. Um,
We will definitely be coming by.
Coffee has demanded that we all dress as ballerinas, so
We're
I
all
will be
ballerina.
there in a tutu.
Oh, amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check the bylaws on that one. Um,
Ian is, she has requested that Ian be a pink ballerina, she will be a purple ballerina, and I will be a yellow ballerina. So,
Oh, even better. Perfect. This
Yes.
is great. Okay, great.
Well, the pink ballerina will be the biggest hit because something I got to tell you about Anthony. For some reason, every time I suggest what we should color, we should paint something, this, that, and so on and so forth. You mean hot pink? I like hot pink.
yeah,
Well, I will give you my tutu once I'm done with it.
the color scheme of the Oval Office will probably change upon the new president. But, okay,
Meeting
so,
Iron Throne.
so the other piece of new business is one that I don't know much about, but I'm gonna call upon our friend John Scagnelli to tell us what we might need to know about chimney inspections. Is it, John, or what's the chimney story?
No, well, the chimney, somebody should be, I haven't been down in that basement and looked at that boiler in a while, but there should be a door under the piping that goes into the chimney. Regularly, like not regularly, but once a season, that should be, at least that door should be open, and that if any of the debris is falling down from the chimney and it's piling up down there, it should just be swept out. I sent you and Victoria 2 different companies that will come and, put stuff up the chimney to clean it. It's just something that should be done in case, because that's where carbon monoxide, all that kind of stuff, if any of that stuff is clogged up, it's going to back up into the building instead of going out the chimney. Another thing that Victoria talked about is doing like a yearly kind of tune-up for the boiler pre-heating season. You can probably do it now because I assume the boiler hasn't been running that much because it's been kind of mild. Where I don't know
John,
if
sorry,
you could
John,
glance here.
before we go to the boiler, can you just, is the chimney sweeping out, coming up? This is the first time I've ever heard of it. Is it an issue now for some reason, or?
No, I mean, it's something that should always be done. I mean, I don't know why it wasn't being done, but
I don't think it was
I don't know who oversees when the guys come and do the boiler inspection.
Well, up till now, it's been a combination of people, but is that related to the chimney? Like if Stanley Lewis, who does our boiler inspection, would they also do the chimney inspection, or not inspection, but check it out?
I'm not sure. They would probably look at the pipes. I don't know if they would necessarily open up that door that's there.
And-
John, I'm sorry, what, I don't know what door you mean.
Typically wherever the metal piping, the exhaust from both the hot water heater and the boiler go into the wall somewhere. Some boilers have it set up that underneath there's a door that can be opened. And you can literally sweep the debris out of the base of the chimney. Because if the debris gets stacked up above that flue, the exhaust of everything can't get out of the building.
So it's not really a door, it's a latch really, right, John?
Yeah, I haven't seen, all of them are set up differently. Like some of them, there is no door. You have to literally take the pipe out of the wall and then like reseal the pipe. But
I don't think we have a door. I think I know which pipes you're talking about that are going into the wall that are not actually in the boiler room itself.
What room are they in?
I think they're in the back. They're under where Theo's apartment is. They're on the left side of the building, I think, but I'm not sure if those are the right pipes. But you're talking about something that's not in the boiler room itself, right?
no, part of the pipe has to be in the boiler room because it comes off the boiler. The exhaust of the boiler. There should be a pipe, a big aluminum, like a tin aluminum looking pipe
Yeah,
There is,
that
there
comes
is.
out.
the vent.
John,
Yeah.
there is.
Okay, that's it.
So
Okay.
that somehow gets to the chimney, whether or not it's in a wall in the boiler room or to the wall wherever the chimney is. I mean, they usually keep that stuff pretty close, I think, but I haven't been down there in a long time, so I can't. If somebody sends me a picture, I can explain what's going on. But Theo, you have seen the door that I'm talking about?
It's not a door, it's a latch. And it runs, it's this aluminum or whatever, a metal,
Yeah.
large, about 12 inches in diameter, 10 inches in diameter pipe.
Yeah, it's a big thing. Yeah.
That is an exhaust pipe, yes.
Okay.
But it has nothing to do with what's on the roof per se, or cleaning out anything has to be done down at the ground level.
Well, typically what somebody would do is when they come, they'd sweep out that where the base of the chimney. Then they would stick a brush all the way up to the top of they literally connect, a brush is on a big metal rod, then they connect another one, push it up, connect another one, push it up. They're basically just making sure that there's, clearance all the way up to the roof. Because if there's a clog anywhere, the stuff is going to back up into the building.
I think, John,
The exhaust.
we did it many, 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 many years ago. Yeah,
Okay. But just something I would suggest
I
to
think,
get in the regular thing of doing. Maybe not every year, but every 2 years to do it. Again, not a major thing would ever be a problem, no, but I also don't live there, so
Okay, but
I think it would be something
it's
that
good
you
to
guys
know.
would more care about.
And for folks who don't know, John and his family own other properties or manage other properties. I'm not sure how to say it, but is there something that happened at another building that we might be informative or no?
No, I mean, one time we had to replace, we had to do the lining of an entire chimney because we got a new boiler and then they looked in there, saw some stuff at the bottom, and then the city made a big stink of it. And again, it's more of a safety thing. I wouldn't be necessarily worried about the city seeing anything or saying anything, but I would think nobody would want the chimney to clog up.
Okay,
But-
well, then I think we can segue to the boiler, and I think Victoria is going to oversee, right, with Stanley Lewis, the inspection. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, there are two different parts with the boiler, but one is an actual yearly inspection of the boiler that happens usually in mid-November. Somebody that we worked with when we had to redo all the pipes or a lot of the pipes in the basement when they were corroding, from Stanley Lewis, someone named Corey, was suggesting that when we were having trouble around last January, when the boiler just was actually not working properly and it took a long time to figure out what was actually wrong with it, he was suggesting that we might want to do a maintenance procedure, which is called skimming of the boiler. But I think we need more information about it. So I've written him an email because I think there are different ways that you can clean out the boiler, and one involves, you know, a bunch of chemicals. And I just think we need more information because I don't think it's necessarily, you know, an inexpensive thing to do, but it's since our boiler is getting on in years and we've never actually done it, it might be something that we want to consider doing, and something that we might want to consider doing on, you know, on the faster side before it starts getting really cold.
All right, so you're gonna reach out to Corey again?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah,
And
Stanley Lewis likes to do the chemical stuff, but there's a couple different ways. Like Vigilante, they just come and clean all the burners underneath. They may look in the chimney and like clean that out too. But the what the hell else did they do? They clean the burners underneath, and then they run. You know, Joel, you're the one that does the bucket of rust, right? You drain the water out every
Yes,
once in a while.
yes,
Yeah, so cleaning it would get all that sediment and rust out of all the pipes.
right.
So it depends on who you call and what you're doing, and you get the prices, because I think the chemical stuff's a little on the expensive side, whether or not that's, you know, but since this hasn't been done in a while, maybe that's the route to go. But I would call a couple places, get the prices, see how they do it, and then I guess we all just decide what to do.
Right. I thought that we had thought, or you had thought, that Vigilante was kind of on the expensive side, John.
I'd have to go back and look, but I mean, now everything has gone up, so I don't know what to tell. You know, the prices from a year ago or, you know, 9 months, 8 months ago could be a lot different than they are today. So,
Right.
but just ask them and see.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have something to bring up about inspections. A letter came, which was addressed to Apartment 1R about gas line inspections. Now, I don't know what exactly they're referring to. I don't know.
That's yeah, the city instituted all this stuff, and all the different they had a big map of the whole city, and different boroughs and different sections of neighborhoods had different deadlines. I believe, I don't know if Victoria, you called them or not. I believe the deadline for this building is the end of the year. And it's
oh, sorry, John, go ahead.
no, unless I told you something different. But basically what they're doing is they're going to come in the basement. They're going to look at the meters, all the pipe fittings, any pipes that are exposed where the connections are. So I think they're pitching it as a safety thing, but they're also doing it to make sure nobody has any illegal gas hookups or anything like that. So, but that is, I think the city's taking that very, very seriously. So whatever our deadline is, we shouldn't sleep on that. We should get the ball rolling as soon as possible, because I'm sure all these plumbers are busy dealing with heating season and then this on top of it.
This letter isn't giving a specific date. It's coming from a master plumber.
Oh, that's probably just a solicitation. Yeah.
That's a solicitation.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just a solicitation, but because all the plumbers know when the deadlines are, so they're probably all mailing stuff out to get this stuff done.
But Victoria, did you think it was the end of 2023 or no?
I can go try and find the letter. What it did is the letter, which we have, broke it down by district, and we are District 15. And if you look at that, it makes it seem as though it's going into 2023, but it is something that has to be looked into. If I'm doing all this other stuff on the boiler,
You can give it to me.
okay.
You can bring me the letter.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's the end of 2023, then there's no rush, but it's gonna have to get done, you know, at some point.
My one fear and all that goes back to my early days in the co-op when they came down and saw the laundry room and how the laundry machines were vented, and that resulted in a big.
Didn't we do some reventing at that point?
No, we got grandfathered in, but I don't know, John, I don't think it's not gas. Well, the machines actually are gas, right?
The dryer probably would be, unless it's an electric dryer.
I don't even know. Do you know,
No, I
Victoria?
think that they're electric. Ours is electric. And
Yeah.
when James replaced the other one, I'm pretty sure that it is electric.
Okay, so it's mainly gas hookups though they're looking at. So we will hope for the best.
But wait,
So again, there's always a danger when the city comes in that they're gonna,
Absolutely.
don't bank on them just looking at what they're supposed to look at. Let's put it that way.
right, but what, the city wouldn't be coming in, right? It would be the plumber.
No,
coming-
but then you have to get inspected by the Department of Buildings is gonna come in, from my understanding.
Oh, really?
The plumber has to submit a report and then I think inspectors come. That's what I was, the impression that I was given, but whether or not that's real, I don't know how they're inspecting every building in the city, but unless that's more of a random thing, but
Have you already started inspecting or having plumbers look at other buildings, Sean, or not yet?
not yet, no.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
All right,
but from
well,
what I've heard from my cousins and stuff like that, they said they're looking at where the pipes meet, how they're connected, the meters, and for any like illegal hookup kind of stuff.
okay.
So, but I don't think they come down and say you have to replace all the pipes, but if they see something, then hopefully it would be some minor thing, but
Okay, well, as long as Hannah or whoever can consult with you and make sure we're doing the
Yeah.
right thing and we can talk via email.
yeah, the big thing is just find out what that deadline is. That's the big thing. Because if it's at the end of this year, then that's gotta be like, when you're calling about all these things, ask the same plumbers about doing the pipe inspection.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Let's see. The other thing that was sort of outstanding from pre-James departure was the iron fence that surrounds the courtyard and its relative state of disrepair. The only part that truly bothers me is the gate itself, which is difficult, I think, to open and scrapes on the ground, on the paving stone. But whether this is the right time to go ahead and have, I believe Teddy gave us an estimate on,
Can I give you an update on that, Anthony?
please.
Yeah, because I know this would come up, which is great. I spoke to Teddy this morning, and the price that he gave us then miraculously is not increasing, meaning $2,400 for the basic repairing and scraping and painting of the fence, including the basement door. So
Does that include fixing the way it opens? I agree, it's hard to open.
it would include, yes, he would
Okay.
bring someone in to take a look at that, yeah, okay. However, the problem, he said to me, is the weather. In other words, when it's very cold, you cannot paint. So, plus he's busy the next month or so, so that puts us in November. So there's a big question mark when, he would feel comfortable actually doing the paint job itself. Because it involves scraping and all that and priming, and then of course, the paint itself. So therefore, we have a firm price. However, we cannot at this point set a date. So.
Theo, sorry,
Yes,
did he address in any way when he was looking at the fence that there might be part of the fence that actually is going to break when he tries to, scrape it and repair it?
yes, of course, this is what, 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 months ago when we got the original. Yes, there are parts of it are very, very thin. And he did describe a way that in fact there is a substance that you can use to actually patch it. Okay, when it's small openings and so on. Yes, that was addressed. However, as time goes on, okay, it becomes more difficult because more of the fence will begin to literally peel away. It becomes too thin. Okay, and then we would need to, which he does not have, we would need to involve an iron repair person. Okay, which could be an additional cost. Okay, that comes in with the welding and all the rest of it and metal and so on and so forth. So that would, he would overlook it, but that would involve another trade with probably some additional cost involved, yes. So the bottom line is we have a firm price in terms of the original, what we requested. However, because of weather, he correctly does not feel comfortable, in doing the painting.
But the ironwork you're saying is going to be a necessity that they will have to have someone who's an iron person.
Yes, they definitely have to have someone, that's my understanding, Anthony, once the problem continues, okay? In other words, it's like the decay in a tooth, okay?
Right.
So, and I don't know, I mean, there would have to be, probably, I'd be happy if you people want me to check this out cost-wise to verify it, but probably there would be an additional cost because it involves another person.
I think iron work in general, I thought was pretty costly.
That's what I'm
So,
saying. The sooner we get it
yeah.
done,
It seems like as of right now, it doesn't require ironwork, you're saying, but if it decayed further, it might.
Yeah, that's what I
it might,
heard.
exactly, yes.
So is there a reason to not just schedule this with Teddy for the spring? So we get the good weather and hopefully avoid.
There's no
ironwork?
reason not to, there's no reason, and let's hope that the deterioration isn't such that, no, there's no reason not to. Jason, we can, okay? But as
Yeah, I
long
guess
as-
I would propose we tell Teddy we're still interested in it. Meanwhile, I don't know if it's prudent to look into iron folks who do this kind of work A to Z, and it'd probably be like 10 times as expensive is my guess. But should we, get another bid if we're waiting anyway?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Teddy knows someone. We could at least start with an iron person Teddy knows and see if there's another person we should ask.
that he can do, if you guys.
Yeah,
authorize me-
Gabriel's Ironwork down on 9th Street, I think, and I think there's another
There you go, yeah.
Italian guy on 9th Street.
So if you guys want me to, I can certainly look into this and report back.
But did
Okay.
Teddy say, I'm sorry, did
I'm
Teddy
talking
say he can
about
fix the
ironwork.
swinging of the gate?
I'm sorry.
Or he
that was-
can't fix the he can't fix the swinging of the gate?
I thought he could.
I don't know. I mean, I assume he
Okay.
could. Okay. I mean, that would go within the iron worker, there have to be some adjustments there. Okay.
Mhm.
So it's up to you guys. Okay. Tell me what you want done and I'll do it.
Yeah, what's going on? But
I mean, I would say if you can get Teddy to give us an estimate based on its current condition, if he thinks an iron worker's work would be necessary, how much that would run ballpark. And
Yeah, I don't actually think he's gonna know until he actually starts scraping the fence.
I mean, there's definitely some parts already that are like detached, right?
Yeah.
That some of the curly things that are, I mean,
Well, anyway, the point is, I'd be happy to do this. The point is, it's only going to get worse for obvious reasons. It's called corrosion. Okay.
There
yeah,
doesn't seem to be anything we can do about it right now.
Nothing.
So-
Unless, to bite the bullet and say, we're gonna bring a welder in now in cold weather and then we're gonna paint it and da-da-da. Okay.
Uh-huh.
yeah, the swinging of the gate part, like if there was some easy fix to that, but there probably isn't. But maybe I'll give a call. You said Gabriel's, and what's the other one called, John?
I'll look it up. I know Gabriel's, we've used him, he's good. I'll find out the other one for you.
Have you had to
I think
do
they're
it?
like right around the block from each other.
Okay.
Great.
Have you done a whole new fence at some place or no?
No, just repairs and scraping and painting, things like that.
Uh-huh.
But this painting and scraping he can definitely do, but I wouldn't bother doing that until somebody fixes the gate.
Of course.
And if he can't fix the gate, because then, it doesn't make any sense to do it backwards, but, but if Teddy thinks he can fix it, I don't know, I mean, it's probably only a little light welding or something like that. I mean, maybe he can, or one of his guys can, but
John, are you thinking of Petrillo Ironworks?
that could be it, yeah.
Sounds Italian to me.
Okay. Okay.
So do you want me to talk to Teddy?
Yeah, why don't you talk to Teddy, get his
And then-
take
and
on
then
it?
Anthony, if you want to follow up with someone else, that's great. No problem.
Okay.
Very good. I'll talk to Teddy and I'll report back.
John Cashin, do you have anything you want to bring up since we haven't heard you yet?
John, there?
John, I think you're muted if you're trying to speak. If you're not, then,
He is muted.
He's muted, yeah.
all right, John, if you have something to say, just chime in.
Send them a chat, send them a message.
Does anyone have other new business he or she or they want to bring up?
Well, I just had a follow-up for Theo, about the whole thing of sealing the basement. And I know from the rain, and I know we had Teddy come back, and I wasn't kind of clear what you guys felt once he came back. I mean, I know there was a problem with the drain behind the door, the back door in the basement, but I don't know if it needs to be cleaned out or who would be cleaning it out, or if it actually needs to be, does Teddy think it's sealed for good, or what was the final?
Just to give the other folks who haven't been here some background, the rain inevitably or often results in leakage into the basement on the floor. Nothing horrific usually, but a problem. And so we had Teddy do a bunch of water sealing inside and outside of the building. And I'm sure that was money pretty well spent, but it didn't stop all the leakage, right, Theo?
Correct, and for the following reason. Because we, as you know, we did tests and I sent you guys pictures and so on and so forth, flooded it. And so we saw where the water continues to come in, okay? And it continues to come in from the floor. In other words, from the corner between the brick and the cement floor in the back, okay? The reason that happens is something called hydrostatic pressure, okay? When we have very heavy rains in the past, the water would come through what Teddy has already sealed. So it can't go through there anymore, okay? But the water builds up in the dirt, in the ground, in the dirt, and seeps through an enormous pressure and seeps through a 110, whatever it is, year old brick foundation, stone foundation. That's where the water is coming through.
And if you wanted to stop that, you would have to do what?
I really don't know, to be quite honest with you, okay? But that is what is happening. And, you know, it's just hydrostatic pressure. It's very common, unfortunately, okay? And there has to be a lot of rain, of course, for this to happen. Well, as we all know, it has happened when there has been very, very heavy rainfall, okay? So Teddy's work sealed where the water was coming through, but that water then still couldn't go there. And it so seeps into the ground, and it could be several feet away from the foundation, by the way, and just applies enormous pressure and seeps through the crack, if you will, the space, the bricks that are under the cement and the cement itself.
So I guess the
This is
question is,
unfortunately a very common problem.
But do you think, is it something we have to worry about? Like over time, it's going to corrode the foundation, or this is just a problem that a lot of buildings like this have?
It's a problem that John Scagnelli would know more about this. I'm not an engineer or a contractor, but it is a common problem. However, I could not say whether or not it could cause, serious damage. I'm just not qualified to make that kind of judgment.
Yeah, I mean, I'm neither of those things either, but just from experience, very rare is there a dry basement in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Is this the back, when you're looking at the building, is it the back left corner?
It's
No.
one of the places. That's one of the places.
Right.
It just used to be the back left-hand corner, since we sealed, the entire perimeter, it is now along the entire back end.
Into the laundry room, essentially, John.
On the right side.
In
Joe.
the the wall, on the garden side, the garden wall. You can see it. John, I think I sent you pictures. We actually did a test. We flooded it and we actually physically saw it going through.
And Teddy at the time didn't say, oh, well, we can stop this by XYZ. He didn't have a
No, he didn't.
solution.
Yeah, he didn't. But what he did worked. However, the water had to go somewhere.
Right.
So simply.
Okay, no, that's.
Yeah, there's no drain. Where are the drains outside in the back? Or there are none along the back? It's just on the left-hand side in that alleyway?
No, the drains in the, yes, in the back in the alleyway, there are drains and they work, they're clean. I mean, they were, cleaned out as best we could. But when we're talking about, John, as you know, we've had very, very heavy rain,
Yeah, when it monsoons for 40 minutes, then it's a problem, but regular
Yeah,
rain is
yeah.
not a problem, right?
No, regular rain, no.
So John Cashin,
I'll ask around here.
okay.
Yeah. But John Stanielli, come take a look whenever you're in the hood. You can see it yourself.
I will, yeah. I'm due for a trip there, so I'll make it.
Yeah.
I'll come over there.
Yeah, bring a bottle of wine while you're at it. Whoops. Some things we don't forget.
That's right.
Mr. Cashin, do you have anything you wanted to mention?
No, I've been on mute, but I finally found the unmute button. And so I've been following it, and I don't have anything to add or comment on. So I'm comfortable with where we're headed.
Okay. Anthony, do you want to reassign duties to us, or or how
I don't think right now. I mean, the first step of that is for Hannah and
or
Jake
Hannah
and
that's
Victoria
great.
and me to sort of do a mind meld and divvy stuff up. But it is, I mean, some of the stuff that comes is solicitations and has nothing to do with official business. Anything that's official business, definitely get into Victoria in my hands, and Theo forwarded to some of us, I think every apartment at least, some bed bug bed bug filings that need to be done.
I forwarded to everybody today a notice
Yeah.
that I got from the city, which
Yeah.
again is addressed to all property owners,
Right.
and I will continue to do that if
But
you like.
that one really has to be looked at. I mean, I guess by all of us, but.
Well, it has to be done by the end of the year, I believe. Right. That's the deadline that I saw. But well, anyway.
Yeah, that's the idea. It's literally like a couple of clicks it's not a big deal. You just got to remember to do it. But the city's getting crazy with the amount of paperwork involved with everything. It's like, everything is filing and all this nonsense. It's a little crazy.
Lift your hand.
But I'm
Excuse
talking
me,
about the one-
excuse me for a second. What bed bug? I don't know what you're referring to.
The city every year requires you to attest that there are no bed bugs in your building, or to say there have been bed bugs in your building, and you have to fill out a form. We were delayed in doing it last year and paid a fine of some sort, I believe. So we're going to be on top
That's
of it.
insane. What was the fine?
I
Does
could-
anybody remember?
Well, no, James said there was a fine. I could try to find.
No, I mean, I was just curious because I find that that seems like one of those bogus things they would never give a fine of. And then of course they're giving fines for that. What a joke. But
So is there
that's why
any?
that piping thing, we got to take care of that for sure, because, and I'm assuming the fines on that are going to be, a lot more than the bed bug fine.
So this is it's not anything individuals have to do. It's something.
The
in
building.
building itself.
We'll
Yeah.
take a look at the thing that Theo sent. We'll look at the bed bug.
The building, it's a
Yeah, you have
building.
to certify that each unit didn't have, it wasn't in the building,
Yeah.
or if it was treated and blah, blah, blah. If you don't have a problem, it's like 2 clicks. It's not that big of a deal.
If anyone had bed bugs, let us know.
Please let us
but
know.
We'll assume not.
Yeah, you're supposed to disclose it to everybody else. Yeah.
No, we've never had
No
that.
bed bugs.
We've never had rodents.
Great,
Perfect.
great.
Mice, it's a different story, but they're not asking. All right. Do you guys, Ian and Emily, have any questions? Like, how often do you get to have this kind of fun?
I mean, I think we're both very happy to hear that there've never been bed bugs. I think that's really good news.
That's the headline.
Yeah.
We are too.
But I have noticed in my back garden, those, what are they called? Those flying around that we're supposed to.
Lantern bugs.
Oh,
Lantern
they're
bugs,
everywhere.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So I do regular squishing of them because they fly around in the back, the garden in the back.
What are they?
Huh?
Anti-lantern bug here.
Lantern bugs.
I've never heard of them. I'm a city girl. I don't know from.
Victoria, what?
No, I just had another just quick question for Theo, and that was, do you know how in the back there, it seemed like somebody cut a whole bunch of, leaves and stalks and everything down? Like they left the front part, but in the back, it was just completely cut
Where?
in the back where your deck is. Unless it's all grown back up, it seemed like somebody, took some kind of implement and literally slashed the back. And the only reason we know about it is because our neighbors had a tree that was attacked, and they wanted to know whether, our workers had anything to do with it. And of course they didn't.
Yeah, no, not at all. What I've been doing by myself, okay, at 84 years of age, okay, been cleaning and trimming back the brush.
Okay.
No, not the trees, of course not.
Yeah, no, it's an issue in there in the,
That was years ago.
building next
Yeah.
to us. No, it was this summer and Teddy came, but we just couldn't
No,
figure
this
it out.
is, no, what I did, because it got terribly overgrown, and I've simply cleaned things out with Joel and Susan's permission, because it's officially it's theirs.
Right.
Anytime, Theo.
That's what I'm saying. Susan says, anytime, do it. But no, of course not. No, actually, one very nice thing I think that has happened with our new neighbors in the back, on Second Street, is that they've done a lot of planting and stuff, as have people next door, of trees that were cut down, and I worried about that, but for some reason they've planted other trees, so it's very, very nice, very, very green, and everyone, and I mean this sincerely, everyone is welcome to come and sit and have a drink out there. Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. Unless anyone has new business, old gripes, new gripes.
No gripes, but you know me, I look forward to the day where we at least occasionally can meet in person. That would be very nice.
I second that. That would be very nice.
Over Scagnelli's wine. You hear that, John?
Hey, the good thing coming out of the pandemic, I don't have to drive home after these meetings.
You don't have to come, just send the wine, man. Who said you?
All right, there you go.
These poor people have no idea what you even look like now.
That's right. Yeah, I like to keep it that way. That's why nobody asks me for anything.
Oh,
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, something about the Johns, the anonymous John. All right.
Anyway.
Unless anyone, Hannah, you got anything you want to lay on us?
I got nothing else.
Nothing. All right, and
And I hope
Joel,
everybody.
I will get this recording to you as soon as I can. And Joel, as you guys may know already, is the secretary, writes up the minutes. And thanks everyone for coming and keeping it under an hour.
Thank you, Anthony, for organizing it all.
Okay,
Have a good evening, everybody.
take
Good
care.
evening.
Good
Yeah,
night,
Happy
everyone.
Halloween.
Have a good one, everybody.
Good to
Thanks
see
all.
you.
Yeah.
Happy
See you next week.
Keep healthy. Keep healthy. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Talk to you